Everyone knows Stonehenge, ancient stone circle, aligned to the summer solstice, used for Druid ceremonies, astronomical calendar, sacred ritual site. That's the version everyone knows. Here's what the evidence actually suggests. Stonehenge was primarily a cemetery, the largest and most elaborate prehistoric cemetery in Britain, and the people buried there weren't local. They came from hundreds of miles away, which raises a question nobody's fully answered. Why here? Stonehenge was built in stages over roughly 1,500 years, starting around 3000 BC with a circular earthwork and wooden posts. The famous standing stones were added between roughly 2500 and 1500 BC. The largest stones, the sarcens, weigh up to 25 tons each, and were transported from Marlborough Downs 25 miles away. The smaller bluestones came from the Preseli Hills in Wales, 150 miles away. Moving stones of this weight across these distances with Bronze Age technology took extraordinary effort, which immediately tells you whoever built this was extremely motivated. Stonehenge doesn't just show up for no reason. It required coordinated resources across generations. The site itself was in use for thousands of years before the stones were even erected, which means this location held significance long before it looked the way we picture it today. In 2008, a major excavation project at Stonehenge changed the narrative. Researchers found human remains representing around 60 individuals cremated and buried at the site, spread across the site's entire active period, from 3000 BC to 1600 BC. The archaeology team concluded Stonehenge was used as a burial ground throughout its entire history, not occasionally, consistently, from beginning to end. And the people buried there were special. Isotope analysis of the bones revealed something remarkable. Many of the buried individuals weren't from the local area at all. Some came from Wales, the same region the bluestones were transported from. Others may have traveled even further, which suggests Stonehenge was a place people traveled long distances to be buried. A prestige burial site, like a royal mausoleum, but for prehistoric Britain. Being buried at Stonehenge may have been the highest honor a person could receive, which reframes everything about why it was built the way it was. The astronomical alignment isn't a calendar for the living. It may be an orientation toward the midwinter sunset, associated with death and the afterlife in prehistoric belief. The Solstice sunrise alignment tourists celebrate today is the secondary axis. The primary alignment faces the midwinter sunset, the direction of the dying sun, a monument oriented toward death, used for burial across 15 centuries. That's the real Stonehenge. The cemetery theory is now broadly accepted by mainstream archaeologists. But it doesn't answer everything. Why specifically Stonehenge's location? There's evidence of a spring at the site that may have had healing associations. Nearby Avebury and other megalithic sites suggest the entire region was considered sacred. Stonehenge may be just the most visible part of a much larger ceremonial landscape, and we still don't fully know why people stopped using it. Around 1600 BC, the burials stop. The monument is essentially abandoned. No dramatic destruction, no known event. Just gradually, nobody came anymore. The most famous prehistoric monument in the world, and we're still figuring out its story. Not a Druid temple, not a solstice calendar, a cemetery. The most prestigious burial site in prehistoric Britain, where people traveled hundreds of miles to bury their dead for 1,500 years. That's a more remarkable story than any Druid ceremony. If you want more popular history corrected with what the evidence actually says, subscribe. Next week, Alexander the Great's body, missing for 2,300 years.